me. We got some good vibes going on right now. I had to come to the lake today because I'm feeling a little like sad today. I'm missing my grandma, and I had to put on her jacket. And I just wanted to come on and maybe share some messages that she shared with me throughout my life, and hopefully we can get a whole groove going and can enjoy this loud bird, this loud duck that's getting it in back here, and look at some of the boaters that are driving by and chill out and hang out. Um, it's been less than a year since my grams has passed, and the one thing that she has always taught me, even from a very young age, is that death waits for no one. Like it is the only thing that's guaranteed in life. It's part of the reason why I became a hospice social worker. It's a reason why my focus is in end of life care and death and dying, right? And she was a huge part of that because even from the age of like 6, 7, 8 years old, she would instill in me that it's okay if I pass. You will take the lessons that I've given you and you will move forward. And that's exactly what I've learned to do over the years, over the ages. And especially now that my grandma is gone, those lessons stick with me even more. And my grandmom, I tell you, she's a true child of God in so many different ways, in every way, like not in different ways, in every way. And she was one of the greatest people that ever lived on this earth. And I am so glad that I had an opportunity to know her. And on days like this, where I really miss her presence and could use her and would love to call her on the phone and kick it with her, and she's not available, I take the time to come down here to the lake, or sometimes I go to the ocean. Depends on what I'm around and who I'm around and what I have time for. And I will just sit and maybe pull some cards or read one of her favorite books and just chill out and enjoy the vibes. It's probably about time for the sun to prepare to set, and it is very quiet out here. It's so chill, and I just thought it was the perfect time to hang out with y'all, and hopefully we can exchange some energy and some love while we're out here together and just relax. You know, when my grandma was here, hi, when my grandma was here, she would always tell me like, live your life, like do not wait for anyone. My grandma was happily married for a very long time. She had multiple children, a lot of children. That at that generation, having a lot of children was a big deal. And so you know she understood the meaning of sacrifice. She understood the meaning of giving something up for the betterment of the community. And I really love that about my grandma. She was so dope at that. And all the lessons that she learned from her successful marriage, from working in the community, from being an activist, hey, all of those lessons that she taught me were that time waits for no one, and you have to grab life by the balls and live life on your terms at all given times. You know what I mean? And I never forget the first time I decided to tell her that I was moving to the West Coast. And I was scared to tell her. I was so scared to tell my grandma that I was moving to the West Coast because I would be essentially leaving her. Like I didn't care about my mama, I didn't care about my dad, I didn't care. Like I was essentially scared to leave my grandma because she was my best friend. And when I sat down and told her like, hey, I got accepted to USC and I'm going to take the opportunity, she was so excited for me. And I never forget, like, when I first moved out there, finding my first apartment, which was at the time, y'all, in San Diego, y'all, $1,200 for a one bedroom. Okay, that's how long ago that was. And I found my first apartment. I was going to the beach almost every day, y'all. And I would call my grandma every day and just send her pictures and be like, I wish you were here. And I remember back in the day, she would always say how it was her dream and her sister's dream to get on an Amtrak train train and head to like just around the world. Like they would just, not around the world, but around the United States. They would just get up and go. And unfortunately, her sister passed before her, and that dream never materialized. So I think she lived vicariously through me and my mother, who is like a top-notch world traveler. I don't know where she is right now. I think she's in like, I don't know, in Indonesia, or she might actually be in India. I don't know. Anyway, she would vicariously live through us, and it would be absolutely magnificent, the stories I would tell her. And it just so happened that when I told her that I wanted to travel the world, this is way back in 2020, which seems like a lifetime ago, but it really wasn't. I told my grandma 20 years ago, I mean, 20 years ago, in 2020, that I was going to travel the world, right? I had bought my plane ticket, and my first stop was Vietnam. And it was absolutely like a dream come true. But what ended up happening is that I got stuck overseas, and it was during the pandemic, and it was really uncomfortable. And I'm going to unpack that one day, like how hey mermaid, how I'm just now getting to the point of unpacking what happened to me in 2020, because I feel like, this is a side note, I feel like for a very long time I had kind of downplayed the fact that I was stuck by myself overseas for a very long time, and I had to live by myself, hey, for a long time overseas, away from everybody. And that was really scary, and it was traumatic. And I didn't know you could time somebody out for that long. That's wild. 86,000 seconds, what is that? And it was just like, it was crazy. Anyway, I remember just calling my grandmom as often as I could when the time difference served us, and I sent my mom so many messages, in terms of just like, send this to my grandma, send this to my grandma, and she did. And my grandma was like blown away at how pretty the ocean was, or that people actually surf, like black people actually surf. She was like taken back by that 1,000 times over. And I'm just really proud that I was able to make her proud. So on days like this, uh, I can dig it. On days like this, where I'm feeling a little sad, I just come out to the water and I enjoy it. And I hope that you guys can get to enjoy this too. I don't know who's going to stay in here, who's going to come, but this is like the real deal. And I am just going to pull some cards and hang out here and look at the birds and just think about my grandmom and how amazing she truly, truly was. And I hope that some of her lessons come to you guys too. Thanks, Joe. It is kind of beautiful out here, huh? It's peaceful out here. It's not super freezing today, thank goodness. It's been a kind of a cold spell lately. It's just a whole vibe out here. And I wasn't even going to go live, but this video might stumble upon somebody who just needs a little bit of love, and hopefully this video can give that to them, and provide some peace in a time where there might not be any, or a time where they struggle to find some peace. And that's kind of like my goal today, really. Even having like the Queen of Pentacles here. The Queen of Pentacles is such an interesting card. First of all, Fran, is this shot like, wait a minute, is this like a shot? Can we take a moment to appreciate this shot, please? No, they are not. They're on the other side. They're on the other side. Like, I just want to take a moment to appreciate like how beautiful this entire shot is. But anyway, the Queen of Pentacles, that's, you know what, my grandma was Queen of Pentacles all day. She understood the value of a dollar. My grandma grew up, like many of your grandparents, during the Great Depression in the United States. And during that time, my grandma, born and raised in the South, absolutely had to budget and eat the scraps, because there was no food. And my grandmother was raised on a plantation, and a lot of that Look at that beautiful bird. A lot of that was carried over into her adulthood, and almost to her, like her last day, she was holding on to money. She would not spend her money, even when we told her, like, hey, it's okay to go get that rug. My grandma had a thing for rugs, Persian rugs specifically, and she would used to spend like thousands of dollars on rugs back in the day, like when she was younger. And as she got older, of course, she didn't, and she became more frugal. And I think at some point she regressed back into um, her her days of when she was living in the depression. She would stock food like she still lived in the depression. And that makes me think about how oftentimes we revert back to survival skills and our survival ways, even when we don't have to, even when everything around us tells us that we're okay, we're safe, we have support, we have love. We can still revert to something that is unrealistic or a far cry from where we used to be. But because that was instilled in her at such a young age, I don't think she ever broke it. I just believe that with so much support around her at one point in time, she was able to mask it. But on the day that when we cleaned out her apartment after her last days, yo, we found so many canned goods stocked away. Like she had doomsday prepper level, like stuff around her. It was actually wild how she was stocked up on toilet paper, paper towels, canned goods. She had like checks stashed away just in case she had to use a check because there was no more cash. She was very much like that person. And she had like piled like stacks of water hidden in the back of the closet. She had two emergency stashes of Pepsi. Like my grandmother was Queen of Pentacles in a way where she understood the benefit of prepping for future events that would turn the table on how you could feed yourself. And when I think about that and that survival, that is ingrained, that's often passed down through ancestral energy. And I want you to ask yourself, like, do you hold ideals like this? Do you hold ideals where you believe that you have to stay in survival mode based on the experiences of your ancestors? And a lot of times it's yes. We carry that DNA. So if you have parents who are stressed out as children, stressed out as teenagers, stressed out as adults, some of that went into you. And when you can't quite pinpoint your triggers from time to time, you might actually be holding on to ancestral code that you have to work to let go of. And friend, that's okay. That's totally cool, but I want you to recognize that that's where you are and that's what's happening. Just like with my grandmother having doomsday prepper level stuff in her apartment, you also prep for doomsday. The Queen of Pentacles is extremely resourceful. Not only is she resourceful, but she appreciates the part of the gathering that allows her to equitably distribute to those in need. She always sees the nuances in need. When it comes to need, she sees the nuances. And sometimes it's not just seeing the immediate need. Sometimes we actually have to look at the nuances. And when we take a moment to take a breath and look at the unseen, or look at something that may be hidden behind emotions or thorough understanding, it is imperative that we know this could be a trigger, this could be something that we inherited, and it's something that we have to deal with. Queen of Pentacles is dope like that, where she can take past experiences and create an entirely new brand for herself, not just financially, but um, through resources, through all resources. And I hope that this message resonates with somebody who might be living with ancestral pain, who might be living with trauma that they received when they were younger and they don't know what to do with it. I'm telling you that it is encoded in your DNA, and that you have to work and fight against it from time to time in order to see the clarity. This card is extremely important. It is not my favorite card, but it is who I am on the Hierophant. Taurus energy, right? Like standing 10 toes down on earth as it is in heaven. You feel what I'm saying? This actually aligns. Let me get it down. Whoa, doesn't that align perfectly? I love that. Ooh, ooh, necessary. That is necessary. Friend, if you are watching, could you screenshot this, please? That's beautiful. Anyway, listen, the Hierophant gives us so many lessons. It gives us a strategy. He gives us a strategy on how to maneuver in this 3D world in such a way that it pleases not only our ancestors, but it pleases God. And I think that's important because what a lot of us look for, are we doing it right? Are we getting life right? Are we making the right sacrifices? Are we putting our best foot forward? Sometimes the answer is yes, sometimes the answer is no. I was saying earlier that life ain't got no rule book, but there are ways to learn and level up. I hear a lot of crunching behind me, friend. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if a bird flies on my head, I am getting up out of here, Hierophant and all. Okay, I just want to let y'all know. Okay, now y'all know I'm out here in the wilderness. I only do this much, I don't do more. Okay, this is a state park, and we gonna let it stay statey. Okay. Anyway, back to the Hierophant, who would totally appreciate the sounds of nature. The Hierophant reminds us that you can be both spiritual and stand your ground, that you don't have to be a pushover and allow yourself to be used spiritually in ways that do not benefit you. I know it's hard when you are trying to be a better person. A better person doesn't mean being a pushover. It means understanding that you have energetic boundaries and you have physical boundaries, right? Emotional boundaries, psychological boundaries. And it is up to you to remain steadfast in your beliefs to guide you along those journeys. I like the Hierophant a lot, even though it's not my favorite card. My favorite card is the Knight of Swords because he really don't give a damn. But the Hierophant is kind of like uh he takes from the 3D world, like where you are, and he's like the intermediary angel almost to the spiritual realm. It is wild how people follow, not wild, but it's beautiful how people follow for instruction to the Hierophant. This actually signifies ritual building, it signifies lessons learned, it signifies reading, being educated, and knowing that crossing through portals is another layer and another lesson. Okay, so hey Violet, yeah, I'm just chilling and reading. I don't do personal readings. If you want to stay, hey, that's great. I hope you give this video a like. If not, that's cool too. It's not going to be for everybody. I'm just talking and feeling, kind of good. I'm thinking about my grandma and just relaxing. So, the Hierophant is great. It's a great reminder that your rituals matter and that you build the life force and you build the understanding between you and your spiritual department. Okay. Many of you don't know, but I break down our spiritual departments the way I break down our government. So, I do believe that we all have a spiritual department of defense. You heard it here first. If anybody else takes that, you know where they got it from. Okay, so that's pretty much how Hierophant is giving energy right now. I think I'm gonna pull one more card, maybe, or maybe a few more. Oh, the Eight of Cups. Oh my gosh, y'all. This Eight of Cups is so beautiful. Y'all, the Eight of Cups, the Eight of Cups represents walking away from something fulfilling. And while that checks, right? While I'm okay with that definition, it's also you're walking away from something that was once fulfilling into something beautiful. Back in the day, I used to teach tarot, and I would always kind of flip it like this. Um, if you see, just because then, oh, thank you. The Eight of Cups. Oh no, the geese are flying. Okay. Um, the Eight of Cups, I want you to all guys always remember that even though you are walking away from something that you were once intertwined with and that you loved, just because it was something that did right by you at one point in time does not mean you have to stay. And always think about what is missing, right? The what is missing is the other side, the Two of Cups, what makes you complete. So you walking away from the Eight of Cups of something that was once fulfilling into the Two of Cups, a union of some sort. You're walking to something that takes you to the next level, takes you to the next realm, takes you to a whole different viewpoint of life. Like you're walking to Two of Cups away from the Eight of Cups, something that is in holy matrimony almost. And I want you to remember that, especially coming from the Hierophant that we just left. The Hierophant is towards spiritual matrimony. And that's what the Eight of Cups is leading to. I really do like how understanding that walking away from something that's hard, that you love, that you invested in, that feels good, but knowing that it no longer serves you, like walking away from that and like going into something greater is a beautiful, beautiful gesture, friend. And I want you to remember that all good things and all bad things must come to an end. It's a cycle. Where are you leading yourself to? Remember, you're not walking away from the Eight of Cups into the Ace of Cups. You're not starting over again. You're walking into something more powerful and beautiful. You're walking into something that gives you a higher state of being in peace, where you have more control over who you are, what you do, what has control over you, and what doesn't, where you lie with your loyalties and where you don't, where you're pulling away from and what you're pushing into. That's what this is about. And I want you to fall into that energy, friend, because a lot of times we often allow situations to trick us because of our emotions. We act from emotions. Don't allow that to happen. You have control over your emotions because you done learned the lessons here. That's why you're walking away. When you walk back, do not allow your emotions to continue to take you over, okay? Okay, let's flip again. Ooh. So we coming from the Eight of Cups, and where are we walking into? Didn't I just tell y'all that the Knight of Swords was my favorite? So as y'all walk away from the Eight of Cups, y'all walking into the Two of Cups, and now we have the Knight of Swords. Y'all, the whole Knight crew, Knight of Cups, Knight of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, and the Knight of who I'm missing, y'all. Cups, Swords, Pentacles, and oh my gosh, y'all. Cup, Sword, Pentacles, y'all. Whoo wee. Mm, mm, mm. Gosh, y'all, how did I forget that just that quick? I said cups, swords, wands. Girl, don't judge me, okay? Please. The Knight of Wands, all of them don't got no table manners, okay? None of them have table manners. The Knight of Swords is my favorite because his tongue is sharp and reckless. But as you are walking away from something that is fulfilling, you need somebody to tell you about yourself from time to time, friend. Okay? And that is going to be your higher conscious coming down and punching you in the forehead because you are not listening. Okay? I need you to listen to the Knight of Swords come through your conscious, your higher level. God, that's a money shot. Your higher level energy to come in and tell you when you're not doing the right thing, or where you are regressing, or to tell you a particular path you know you should go down but you might be thinking otherwise. The Knight of Swords will knock you upside the forehead with lessons, with messages, with in anything that has to do with keeping you on track. And the reason why the Knight of Swords is extremely powerful, friend, is because you won't get cussed out verbally. I mean, you might, but those thoughts in the back of your mind, they're going to be loud, right? The lessons that you're going to learn is going to be outrageous, and you're going to know it's from your spiritual royal center, your spiritual royal consultants, because of the way it's going to present itself. The Knight of Swords does not care about your feelings. The Knight of Swords does not care about whether or not you have the money or you're thinking about doing that. He don't care about none of that. He's going to cuss you out. Okay, he's going to cuss you out. Moving from the Knight of Swords. Oh my gosh, we went from the Hierophant to the Eight of Cups to the Two of Cups to the Knight of Swords. Now we have the Fool. The Fool creeping on the come up in a good way. And when I say creeping on the come up, it means that this is the time to be quiet. This is the time to shh. This is the time to take in what's happening around you. This is the time to focus. This is the time to be in your state of love, your state of learning, your state of being. This is where you look at everything that's happening around you. This is where you make your money moves, friend. Okay? This is a renewal, but a renewal in the sense that you're not necessarily starting over. You're starting from a place of knowing. You're starting from a place of knowledge. You're starting from a place of power. You're starting from a place of protection where before you didn't have that. You're starting from a place of rebirth in a way that is absolutely phenomenal. Much love to you. Don't be fooled by the fool. The fool is only the beginning. Only the beginning. So we came out of the Knight of Swords that just bopped you upside your forehead, and you went into the Fool, and now you know your lesson, right? Now you know. Peace and blessings manifest with every lesson learned, right? Oh, this is becoming such a beautiful reading. The wind is starting to pick up, y'all. I'm not going to be out here for long, but my gosh, that's a money shot. Oh, this looks like something Bob Ross would paint. Oh my goodness. Have y'all watched the Bob Ross documentary on Netflix? Ooh, it's a zinger. It's a zinger if you have not. Oh, talking about walking away. Five of Cups energy. I like the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is volatile. The Five of Cups is like, now mind you, we just got out of the Fool, right? The Five of Cups is straight up and down. Like, yo, I could explode at any given time. And it really depends on who I'm fitting to explode on. This is the Five of Cups is also a protective measure. It's an emotional protective measure. But be careful because the Five of Cups will have you in control of being out of control. Tap in. The Five of Cups will have you being in control of being out of control. And it can have you relapse back into who you used to be instead of becoming a better person. And when I say becoming a better person, I mean like you just don't want to go back to the ways that had you feeling down and out and not very good. Okay? The Five of Cups can be pulled out when necessary. It is also a cup of recognizing you may be in a state of grief, right? You may be in a space where all you need to focus on is peace or achieving a state of peace where you can exist and perform in your daily life without breaking down. The Five of Cups shows up in so many ways in our life. I just had a Five of Cups moment talking about my grandma. It can come and go, it can stay. But I love the fact that at any given time, you can cross into a portal. You can come or you can go. And that's what I want for you, friend. I want you to recognize that you can be in these moments and they ebb and flow at any given time. Let's see if my grandma has a message for us before we get up out of here. Let's see. Oh, the Hermit. Y'all, the Hermit done came in. The Hermit is a low-key Buddha card. It is such a Buddhist monk card, and I love it because truly the Hermit tells us to take deep breaths in and long exhales out and cross into your spiritual portals. This takes stillness. Now, if you somebody like me who has ADHD from time to time, you might be like, yo, what in the world is stillness? Let me show you. That stillness. That stillness. You stare at this for a while, you're going to transport your mind somewhere else, moment by moment, bit by bit, step by step. The Hermit sees what's in front of him and deals with being present in the moment. That's what's so beautiful about the Hermit. And you know what else is beautiful? You can be a hermit at any given time in your life, friend. Real talk. Right now, if you want to walk into your house and be a hermit, you could do that. If you want to be outside and party like a rock star, you can come out of hermit mode. But understand that the Buddha monks in your trunk turn the bass up. And know what they saying over there? They talking mad trash. Oh my gosh, y'all, the other day, they were just out here fighting. I mean, they were fighting. I got the footage. It was World Star out here. I said, "Oh no, it's time for me to go back to the Hermit." Okay, back to the Hermit. Hope y'all enjoying nature tarot with Cass. I just came out here to chill. And who knew I would have had a money shot like this? I had no idea. And I'm feeling very hermit right now, but I'm feeling hermit with y'all. A community of hermits, y'all. It just feels good out here. It feels beautiful. It feels nice. It's calming. It's peaceful. Until these leaves grow back on these trees and bugs start falling out of the trees. But we're not going to think about that right now. I'm going to just leave with the hermit. Just say the hermit is absolutely a golden opportunity to pour into yourself, and also an opportunity for other people to pour into you. And I want that for you, friend. I want you to be able to receive. 2025 is the year of receiving. Tap in, 2025 is the year of acknowledging that you are worthy of where you are, where you're going, and what you are bringing. And I love that for you, friend. That's next level. You deserve all of that. Okay? All of it. Now before I go, can I turn away from this? Hey friend. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. Ooh, I don't want to drop my cards. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. I feel so much better now after not feeling so awesome, feeling a little sad about my grandma, but hanging out with y'all feel so much better. Thank you. Thank you so much for being with me, y'all, because you know what? I sometimes don't think it's healthy that we always act like we're okay. People that carry spiritual messages are not always 100% all the time. And I think that it's beneficial to build a community on authenticity and love. And one of the most important people in my life that I have is no longer here. And I know many of you, mostly all of you, have experienced loss as well. Great loss. And I want to let you know that I feel you. I understand. And I hope that my messages resonate on some level with you, whether it's just hanging out at places like this, or it's reading tarot, or having channel downloaded messages, or just hanging in silence and or listening to music, whatever it is, y'all. I'm just glad to be here with you. Anyway, I will see you guys on the next one. I love you so much, y'all.